One.
Welcome everybody to Interactive Fiction episode special. We are not playing Far Cry 3 today. We're playing Far Cry 3. The better one.
Blood Dragon. Once again, I am Brandon Lee Gary, and joining me is professional headache haver, Samuel Callahan.
I'm really good at that. And, so, yeah, hopefully if you're watching this, you already watched the entire Far Cry 3 Let's Play. In which case, we just thought we'd do this for fun bonus, because this game is pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
As of the subtitles, which say things like narration. Narration is my favorite character.
I love that.
So, I think it's pretty easy to say the story of this game is better than the story of Far Cry 3.
Only that it knows that it's not to be taken seriously.
You don't take the nuclear wars seriously. What was it, like the Canadian Wastelands they talk about?
Yes.
It's just so dumb.
And in response, the government made cyborg ninjas. Ninja commandos.
It's the only way.
Of course, you know, because in the nuclear fallout, the first thing you need to do is make cyborg ninja commandos.
I mean, I don't know what else you would do. Ubisoft Montreal. So that's... You know if it's the same studio?
Oh, Ubisoft Montreal is like all the studios.
It's like one of the 70.
I'm pretty sure... I think Montreal does the Assassin's Creed franchise. It probably does Far Cry 2.
Probably.
I mean the Far Cry franchise as well, not as in Far Cry 2, because that wasn't when Ubisoft had this license.
No, they had it for 2.
They did?
Yeah. I don't think it was Montreal that made it though. Because that was 2008, I believe. Yeah, they got it out. They got it from Crytek after 1. Yeah, that was pre-tower climbing.
That's a weird franchise to get from Crytek, since it basically... Oh, it was only like meant to show off the Cry engine.
Yeah, and it's like they didn't take any of the characters or story really. They basically just took the name.
And now we are Sergeant Rex Power Cult.
It's a fucking better than Jason Brody.
Voiced by the same guy that voiced Caden in Mass Effect.
Well, glad to see he's getting work.
Otherwise known as Gaiden.
This is Spider? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I got great subtitles. So it's this game's kind of funny just because
he has like the Black Widow symbol on his face.
That's right. But I find this game kind of funny to me just because it's waxing nostalgic for something that I wasn't alive to see.
Yes. This was before my time as well.
So it's just kind of funny to see stuff like this and like it's still good. And I guess that really just speaks to the quality of it, and that's like I didn't grow up with like these, I don't know, I guess like Genesis era, also Terminator films and all that, but just like...
This is fairly divisive in terms of some people love it and some people don't like it that much. Blood Dragon.
I think love it or don't like it that much is a pretty good divisive stance. Supposed to love it or hate it.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are like, don't like some of the aspects, like the tutorial, which we're about to get to in a moment.
Yeah, tutorial, like, this game is very self-aware, but the tutorial is kind of, like...
And how a lot of the jokes fall
dickish.
flat. And a lot of the jokes in this game do fall flat, honestly. But I
just
do
start off with the turret
appreciate...
section. It's the only way to begin.
I do appreciate that they don't take this themselves very seriously. And honestly, a lot of games do need to kind of just take a step back and go, yeah, let's just have some good old-fashioned craziness.
Yeah, I love the concept for this game where they had the engine for Far Cry 3. After they finished that, they were like, well, what else are we gonna do? And it's like, just create like a pseudo expansion.
And then
for the
someone
game.
said Cyborg Ninja Commandos, and then someone else said yes.
Like it's the part of Ubisoft that I like to see, which is, you know, like the UbiArt games and such. The part of Ubisoft that embraces creativity. Because they have the capability, they have the marketing, and they have the budget to have projects
makes
like this.
the coldest AAA games, but some of the most sincere indie games. It's strange.
It's like, I think it's just because they have the budget for it that they can afford to do stuff like this. I just wish that they did more of it. Like less tower climbing and more...
Yeah, but their AAA games come off as so cold sometimes. Like,
it's pretty soulless, as you said in the end of the series.
Like, Far Cry 3... Like, yeah, just that whole, their whole a lot of their franchises are basically the same game.
Yeah. Watchdogs, Far Cry 3,
And
Assassin's
it's
Creed.
soulless in that they're basically making a game by formula at this point.
Oh, but this is anything but, baby.
Yeah.
It's fucking cyborg ninja
I mean,
commando.
it's the same Far Cry formula, but they take it and they just go with it, and it's really funny,
It's really
or
great.
really fun.
Yeah, I think it, like you said earlier, like I feel like all the overt jokes are actually probably the least, or probably the worst part about the game. Whereas like
Yeah.
all this, like the style is the best part, and that's where most of the humor comes from. Is just the style of the game, not like
And I like that the loading screen is an old-fashioned VCR.
yeah. But then yeah, this is like because this suffers the main problem of games, which is pointing out bad game design is not funny.
It's not funny unless you are subverting bad game design.
Yeah, but the idea of just like,
Like
hey,
saying,
press A.
"Oh yeah," or like saying, "Oh yeah, aren't you glad you don't have to go through this whole tower again because he checkpointed you?" That's kind of funny. When you're
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, look at us, we're deliberately not checkpointing this for you," that's annoying.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of in Sunset Overdrive. There's a point, there's a tower near the end of the game that's like super long, and if you die at one point halfway through, just the main character talks to like the narrator, and you know, in my case it's like female, so she was like, "Oh, hey, thanks." It was like, "Oh, thanks game designers for not making me start at the very bottom," and then you hear like this god voice going like, "No problem." And I was like,
Yeah.
"See, that's good because they acknowledge good game design by making fun of bad design."
This is a true story. I once had a friend who was making RPG with RPG Maker, and he asked me to test the game for him, and I noticed that he made a lot of like bad design decisions, and he pointed them out, and he was talking about how it's supposed to be a funny, and I looked at him, I said, the thing that's not funny about having poor game designs that I actually had to go through those poor game design decisions.
Yep, making fun of it does not make it any more fun to play.
Yes. And I just had to point that out to him, and he eventually took my advice and fixed a little bit of it until his free trial for RPG Maker expired.
Oh yeah, I think I skipped over the line, but when you throw the D20, it says like, press right on D-pad to throw your D20,
See,
nerd.
this is a good joke. Throwing a dice instead of a rock. That's a cool joke.
Why would Rex have a
Okay,
fucking
well-
dice? I don't know. But it's like the character stuff is more funny than the tutorial stuff because it's like they're playing it completely straight, and like that's the joke.
They're playing it straight, but they know they're going to be made fun of.
Yeah, and you know that's what
Like
makes for
in
good.
Wolfenstein, how Wolfenstein's like they're playing the whole Macho Man thing completely straight, but they know that you're gonna make fun of it and they're okay with that.
Yeah. But that's what I love about seeing like Rex Powercool. Like he's a great character because he's not self-aware of how dumb it is. Like he's just straight up like, I'm such a great action
He's
hero.
not aware, but the game designer clearly is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get to the point where it's actually giving me like very tutorial stuff.
Oh,
These tutorials are brought to
yes.
you by Kobayashi Cyborg Lubricant, lubricating your future. Use objects and environments as cover, press RB to throw grenades, and then we're getting to the point where it starts making fun of the prompts. Walking over
Yes.
dead bodies, loots ammo, which is great. That's good. It's better.
This
Alright,
is a
tutorials
huge
upgrade now.
info. This is a huge info dump if you haven't played Far Cry 3.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just how they designed it. They were like, we don't have time to make a tutorial. Also, this is exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
Like, making fun of me mashing through these prompts is not very funny. Just give me less prompts. I believe there's one more joke at the very end. Yep.
Yeah.
Press A to make these patronizing screens go away. There you go.
Oh man.
And then Rex going like, I hate
Annoying
tutorials.
followed by a question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is terrible.
And
You know
yet
what's
I
also
still have to do
terrible? Having to go through shitty tutorials.
it. I have to wonder what this would be like if you haven't played Far Cry 3 though, as far as like how much
I've actually
crap they
played
throw
this
at you at
before
once.
Far Cry 3.
So what was it like? Did you like
It
just
was-
feel like there was just so much shit thrown at you at once?
Yes, I did. But at the same time, I didn't find it that hard to get my hands around because I do play games.
Oh yes,
and this
you play
is,
video games.
And most of this is just standard video game controls, honestly. So I didn't feel too bad, but I felt like this is getting kind of info dumpy.
Yeah. But yeah, this game has some really great design
I do like the
choices.
chain takedown is unlocked by default.
I mean, like a lot of stuff
So
is.
were all of the takedowns, honestly.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of stuff by default, which is great.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things I was going to point out as far as like some of their great design choices. Like as far as this being like a small tidbit, I like that they give you all but the final weapon in the game at once. So it's just kind of like, here you can just use all the guns. There's only like 4 of them, but you get to upgrade them and you don't have to like buy a whole bunch of
And
guns.
they also, and the level up it's much more, it's linear. You don't get to choose what you get when you level up. It's like a Final Fantasy game, which the level up is chosen for you before you even get it.
Yeah, which is fine for this.
Which is fine.
For this,
and if for this
short
style
kinda game.
it works. Since you're not going to spend a whole lot of time with this game anyway, so...
Yeah, it just seemed like Ubisoft was very conscious of this being a short, fun game, and they were like, let's not bog it down with skill trees and like 18 different weapons, and just, keep it all very to the point. And part of that, it could have been like a time budget thing, but I think it worked out for the best, whichever reason they did it for.
One thing I love in this game is that when you get the bow, it's a cyber bow, and the text says it's glowing blue, therefore it's cyber.
It's a known fact about the cyber world.
It has glowing blue neon on it, therefore it's a cyber bow.
Stab myself in
Other
the
than
arm.
that, it's a completely ordinary bow, and that's what it says in the text.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
There's a whole... Oh, I died. I was not paying attention. I also know that like all the animals in the game are just like cyber or neon versions of regular animals.
Cyber sharks.
Yep, dude. I don't want to fucking deal with cyber sharks. Kidding me?
Yeah. And man, this game, this game, it shows you how Far Cry 4 on a mechanical level worked. I mean, Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
But how on a story level, it's not that great.
Oh man, I also forgot. Like, I was testing this the other day so that we could do this episode, and as soon as I booted up, I remembered how much I love the style of this game. Like the the scan lines and how much bloom there is on all the neon.
I love the color palette they chose for this game. I love it.
I just love like the just intense bloom on all the neon, so it just like bursts out of the picture.
Well, blue is my favorite color.
There's a lot of blue and a lot of red.
I'm biased there.
It reminds me a lot of the latest Strider game that came out. It had a very similar style to this, which I mentioned in the review I wrote for it.
But this game is just lovely.
Yeah. It
just shows you how if they had taken those mechanics and recontextualized them something that didn't have a shit story, that would have been an awesome game.
I mean, that's basically what Far Cry 4 is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the story Far Cry 3 does have its own problems they are not nearly as bad as Far Cry 3, but they're noticeable.
Well, you said Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 3, you meant 4 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 4's got problems, but...
Yeah.
Well, let me just pump up my wrist
We'll talk about that in Season 15 when we go through Far Cry 4.
Oh, yes. I can't remember if I said 15 or 17 on the podcast.
You said 7.
Oh, yeah.
But I am vetoing that, and I'm making it 15.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure you have a whole list ready.
Because by then, Final Fantasy 15 should be released.
Oh, good. I can't wait to play that twice.
Twice?
We gotta play it originally, and then we gotta play it for that. This ain't no Let's Play channel, man. We gotta have these discussions about games.
You don't want to play a Final Fantasy game for a Let's Play. Trust me, you do not want to do that.
Yeah.
We would never get done. Like, this isn't like Far Cry 3 where all the shit is just side shit that you don't have to actually do. Oh, I also love that little how he rests the shotgun on his hand.
Yep. It's fucking. I also love how like he takes out
And the
the assault
reload
rifle, he
animations
flips it
are all
around.
super stylish.
Yep.
Yeah, this
He's a
game
cool guy.
animates. This game is really well animated. That's a weird thing to say about a video game, but it's true.
And we got this awesome music that you can't hear,
It just reeks of that whole 80s style, too cool for school, even though I'm not actually that cool.
But it's like, it's almost so cool that it just like falls into itself and becomes campy at some point.
Oh yeah, this is incredibly camp.
Oh, it's so good.
Camp is exactly the word I would use to describe this game's tone.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's honestly better for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic. I love this game. So, If you haven't played it, you should definitely play this. I don't care if you, because we're not
Yeah.
gonna play through the whole thing.
I
here,
actually,
but-
when I wasn't interested until I heard it was standalone. Then I decided to get this, and then I got Far Cry 3 a lot later.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that Ubisoft has a good record of like that and Freedom Cry and just like
Yeah.
pushing their big stuff as standalone.
So yeah, if you don't want to play Far Cry 3, but you want to get a feel for what the game might be like, this is a good way to do that,
If
honestly.
you just want to play like super stylish Far Cry 3,
Yeah.
it's also shorter. Like this game is also a pretty great length.
Yeah, it's a very manageable length since it's a downloadable piece, and it can't really afford to be this 40-hour piece of bullshit.
Although, as we discovered without all the towers and stuff, there's not much going on in 3.
Yeah,
But I did
you could
basically
probably
everything there is to
100%
do in this game.
in about 20 hours. Maybe probably even less than that. I forgot.
Yeah,
how long
I took maybe like 15, and I got everything except the glitched out vehicle that like I was unable to get, but I did everything else in the game. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go. Just fucking, I don't know. I just want to shoot fucking cyborg guys.
God, I just
I just want to look at this game.
this is a really like. Look at all the different colors used here too. Like, there's not just one color. There is a couple, like, really bright colors used too. Like, a lot of games don't understand the
Colors.
to have variety in the color palette, because if you look at just the same color, whether it's green or brown or gray, you sit in the same color all over is really tedious.
Did you know that computers from the future are indestructible?
I did not.
It's a
Like-
well-known fact.
Even, like, as an example, even though Dead Space 2 have you go through pretty much the same corridors the whole game, they use color to distinguish the corridors. Like, and it's really subtle, but it's really important to do that.
Oh god, I forgot that this game had C4000.
C4000.
Because the future.
That's great.
Is it C? Oh, it's 400. I thought it was 4000.
See, like, there's
Uh,
this degree of self-awareness this game has that its progenitor did not have.
which that game really needed to be self-aware of this, how stupid its fucking setup was.
It did. That,
Which,
it
I mean,
needed
like, we
so
talked
much
about in the
self-
last episode of that series where, because I had to play the ending again to get the alternative ending for the video. And I remember, like, looking at Lisa's lines, and you were very right that, like, Lisa was such a great character, and at the very end, she was like, do you think these tattoos make you a warrior? And I'm like,
Yeah.
she's, like, the one person who fucking gets it. Oh, I love how they fucking don't animate when they move forward. They just kind of slide to the computer.
Old video games used to do that.
Yeah, old video games are old, man.
Or that was a common trick with like old cartoons, is that they would just have like one running animation for a character, and they would use it over and over in all different types of episodes, and just have the background move.
Yeah, I remember
Instead.
Uncharted being like a really big deal with the way that Nathan Drake moved around the environment, like
Yeah.
how he reacted to things.
Like, one of the big deals in Uncharted 2 was that the train section in particular, there was an actual set they made for the train section that loops. Like,
Right.
instead of a lot of games where they just have like a background that flows around, they actually had an environment they coded into the game for those sections.
Oh man, Spider might be dying for his country.
Tell her that yourself.
God, it's so
Tell them I
great.
died for my country.
I just love Rex's voice. He was like, "You tell him yourself. You hear me?" It's just like it's just gruff enough.
It's just gruff enough, and it's all those overly macho lines from
Yep.
all of your favorite B movies.
Yep. Also, I should point out that the AJM or whatever, it's in Far Cry 4 and in Watchdogs, I believe. Which is, I'm talking about this gun specifically.
That's cool.
Yep. If I'm 90% sure it's in Far Cry 4, is like, it's a Uplay weapon, that's what it is. Redeem
Oh,
those hot
I might
Uplay
have
points.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, redeem those hot Uplay points.
And then I never use that weapon pretty much ever.
Yeah, it's a fucking pistol. You got the grenade launcher. What are you using a pistol for?
Yeah.
It's the grenade button. Let me shoot. Here's my fucking, I don't know, are they nano grenades or something? They look like
They're
grenades.
cyber grenades.
Cyber grenades, thank you. Let me take out my...
Like-
my Molotovs. I just moved one letter down the alphabet and they were ready.
That's fantastic.
I can't remember like what these guys' lines are, but I'm pretty sure they're all great. Like all the cyborg lines, because it's all just like stupid guard stuff, totally robotic voice.
Something that you expect a Cobra Commander to say.
Yeah. But like all the like guards just say things like "You won't get away," "Stop, stop." Like it's all like dumb guard shit.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
It's the wrong guard. Yeah, and you level up, you put up the fucking
Or maybe
horse.
that's the right guard.
Oh god, this game has such style in a world where AAA games just
And I
don't.
love the animations that Rex has when he's doing the healing without a med kit.
Yep, I love the one where he takes like a blowtorch to his arm.
I did it! Objective failed.
Yep.
Shit, Kilo 7-3. Requesting
Oh
immediate
god.
evac.
But yeah, like I was saying, like it's so cool to see this game come out when it did, just because, you know, like AAA games, they're cool and all, but they always seem to lack their own identity and style. And this was all this game was. But the great thing was that because it was an expansion of Far Cry 3, it had all the great gameplay mechanics of Far Cry 3, and it just piled on the style and the pizzazz and just all the cool shit. And it's
I
just
know,
a
and it's so
perfect
good.
blend of great gameplay and great atmosphere.
It's so good, man.
Oh, this game's great, and it came out for like what, like 15, 20 bucks, something crazy low.
$15 at the time. I remember because I bought it like when it came, as soon as it came out.
Yeah, so did I, because everybody was
Because
like, oh
the
my god,
premise
this
was,
game.
because the premise was so intriguing to me that I had to.
I just remember when this game came out, everybody was like, holy shit, this game is so great.
Yeah. Good
Uh,
God, man, this was.
I think we're gonna be done as soon as this mission's over, but I do
And I
want to
love
read some
that
item
he
descriptions.
has that gruff, gravelly voice. But he's very much aware of the fact that he is the gruff, gravel voiced Macho Man in this plot. And God, this is so much this game does right.
I just want to love this game forever.
Well, I guess it would be more accurate to call it an expansion than a game.
I guess. Like, it's kind of hard to say, because I guess it really just depends on what you qualify as an expansion in today's world.
Yeah.
As far as, like, it doesn't take place in the same universe or anything, but it does use the same mechanics. I also forgot that you can just run there. Then you get that hot cutscene!
Yeah, plus you get this is the super sprint that's faster than actually driving.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was playing in my clear save, and I was noticing that. It's like
And you can
sprint
breathe
so
underwater.
indefinitely. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should check, before we go, we have to look at the level stuff, because level 1 is hilarious, because it's just like a joke about Far Cry 3, where it's like, you can breathe indefinitely, you can run super fast, you reload super fast, you can carry all these guns.
Because you're not some dillweed, you're a cyborg commander.
Just this sick cyborg guy.
This guy are sick.
Cover is like the condom of shooters, protecting you from STDs, hollow points, and lasers.
That is going to be the title of this episode, The Condom of Shooters.
They're back online, Colonel.
Oh, Dr. Darling.
Dr. Elizabeth Veronica Darling.
I feel like that's such like a, I could be wrong, but like a James Bond thing to me.
Colonel Sloan.
Oh, Colonel Sloan, because he's the
Kinda.
and
Yeah,
Colonel
it kind of is
Sloan's-
a James Bond thing.
Also forgot that Colonel Sloan is the renegade. He was the good guy gone bad. Why would you betray your country?
Now that right there is a death.
Yeah.
I forgot he makes the
The definition of insanity.
I forgot he makes that joke. See, that's pretty good.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, and he's got the fucked up jaw and all that.
She's a mean, demanding bitch. She's a wild.
Oh my god, this game is so great.
Price of power, boys.
They said you went off the reservation. It's gotta be a mistake. Ever since the nuking of Canada and
Oh yes, remember we nuked Canada in the year 20XX?
Of course.
lost our way,
Invasion of
You know,
Australia.
now the government
it's not 2100, it's 20XX.
Yep.
with the Red Menace. But I have a meeting.
Oh,
The
man.
nuking of Canada.
Just, that gets me so hard for some reason. Just like
And the,
just
and
'cause
the
idea of, like,
invasion of Australia.
like, I think I find the nuking of Canada so funny because it's like, why in the fuck would anyone nuke Canada in today's world?
Or invade Australia. What the fuck are those guys doing?
What are you gonna take? The fucking desert?
Did you download my mail?
We're here to enslave the koalas.
Yes.
Fuck you. I know what you're planning. You Mark IVs was
Although that is basically the plot of Crash Bandicoot, now I think about it.
Mark IVs. I don't know if that, like I said, be like a Terminator slash Halo slash, I guess, everything Cyborg reference.
I mean, there
It's just
are so many games that reference these sci-fi tropes that it's hard to say they reference any one of them in particular.
No, Spider! He breaks his back all like a Batman Bane style.
Like Bane.
Yeah.
I imprinted you Mark IVs with all my combat savvy.
We had the same thought.
Yeah.
I'll give you
You're
a shot
dead.
at spring, boy.
Boom. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it as soon as this week's up, but we gotta check out some menus and stuff and just all the fun flavor text in this game.
Oh man, this game has so much flavor.
Yeah. If anything, it's just because if you played this, you know how great this is. If you haven't, I'm not gonna spoil much more.
And
of
I
this
love the
because it's so good.
the cyber jungle.
Oh yeah. So
And I love the use of purple because you don't really see purple as like a background color a lot.
I also forgot that like all the outpost missions are rescue these nerds.
Yes.
Which like it's like kind of riding the line of funny, not funny. It just seems to depend. All right, I don't know, I just want to look at this, but I don't think it's anything special.
But I just like this guy's a complete airhead, just does not aware of how silly he's being.
All right, let's look at some great flavor text for like leveling up and such. All right, let me read this off. So level 1, whenever you level, you can either earn skills or additional health slot. By default, a Mark IV soldier is level 1, able to breathe underwater indefinitely thanks to his cyber lungs, able to sprint faster than a human, able to resist all damage from falling from any height. Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Yes.
Able to perform a regular takedown, shuriken takedown, and chain takedown to dispatch
Oh
enemies
yeah, I love
silently.
it's not a knife takedown, it's a shuriken takedown.
You bet.
And
then
use ninja stars.
It's like level 2 is like you get health, and it goes up to like quick swap, and you know you get better repair stuff. You can reload while sprinting, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna show the last one because it's too good.
What is the last one? I actually forgot.
I remember. I'll show you after this. And then you have stuff where it's like you can look at this, like, you know, character bios, like Rex Power Cult. Sergeant Cult was the pinnacle of the Cyber Commando Mark IV series when they resurrected him from the dead. The process left his memories fuzzier than a fruit in a frat house kitchen. But his service to Omega and loyalty to Sloan kept him busy. That was before the more loyal Mark Vs rolled out, before they deemed him obsolete for Omega Force. Problem is, someone forgot to send Rex the memo. So great!
I just love how cheesy it is, and they know it's cheesy.
I love the idea of like, someone forgot to send Rex the memo. It's just so dumb. And if you read like all the weapon stuff, it's like, here's the cyber version of this regular thing. Anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna call it about here, because the game just basically goes, it just gets so great. Just
I know, man.
there are some parts where it drags a little bit, but it's such a great
You know,
ride
given
overall.
that Far Cry fall damage is sporadic at best, not taking any at all is a really great upgrade.
Well, it just seems like kind of like the Saints Row 4 situation where like, I don't know, fuck it, just take all the limiters off. Well, there's a half-dead guy.
Yeah.
And Cyber Dragons! Or Blood Dragons, as it were.
Yeah.
Cyber
The
Blood Dragons.
titular blood dragons.
Yes, he said. I think that word means what you think it means. Alright.
Man, I'm not gonna let that one go just for the record.
Nope. Years from now. Alright, well, we're gonna call it here, guys, but hope you enjoyed this little special episode of Blood Dragon because this game is great. And, we will see you guys in Season 2 of Interactive Friction. Coming soon to a YouTube near you.
It's My Little Pony.
Yep! Just for watching MLP. It's the second season.
Yeah, because neither one of us are a fan of that franchise, but sure, why not?
It's the only good way. Alright, well, we'll see you guys all next time.
Next time.